Welcome to the Whitworth Pirate Podcast. Every show will feature Pirate student athletes telling us about their lives as students, athletes, and people. Now, here is your host, Bud Nameck.
And welcome to the Pirate Podcast, and we are going to be talking about some winter sports and also move into some spring sports because we're getting spring-like weather. And we'll talk tennis, even though you have not had a chance to get outside. We're talking spring. Jess Weaver's with us. How are you, Jess?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Anxious to get outside?
No. For me personally, not really. I think I play some of my best tennis inside, but definitely have some guys on our team that are itching to get outside.
So how does that work? Because when you're not playing tennis, you want to be outside snowboarding, hiking.
This is true.
Gardening, doing things like that. How does that work?
No, I enjoy playing outside tennis, but I don't play as well outside as I do inside. Yeah, the variables, the sun, the wind, all that stuff, kind of too many things that you can't control, but when you're inside, it's very, very controlled. So I feel like I just hit the ball a little better inside.
Is that something that's been with you all through high school and everything else?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, high school was all outside, obviously, and so I never really got to play inside. But once I got to college, I realized that playing inside is just for me.
But I imagine when you weren't playing high school tennis, actually, you probably still had some indoor tennis going on at that age, right? No club? You guys weren't?
No, I mean, I wasn't a very big tennis player in high school. I kind of just worked my butt off my senior year and somehow made the team here at Whitworth, and I've just grown exponentially as a player. So I wasn't a real tennis player in high school.
Okay.
I was on the tennis team, but I wouldn't call myself a real tennis player.
Okay, because Meads had a pretty good program.
Yeah, no, we had a great program. I just never played any singles, which is what I mainly play now, but I played doubles on JV up until my senior year, and I got to play varsity doubles, and here we are. I mean, somehow.
Do you think that gives you a little bit of a different perspective on matches than your teammates, just because you don't have maybe the background that they have?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like I don't let the pressure get to me as much because I've already come so far and I have so much that I can be proud of. And so just having the confidence to know that I've come so far from such a little tennis, I don't know how to describe it, but I wasn't very good in high school, but now I would call myself good. So I think I have the confidence to know that I can get better than that, especially with the coaches and the guys that we're hitting with. But I don't know. I think I have a pretty good perspective coming into my senior year. I'm super excited.
What other sports were you a part of growing up?
I was a big baseball player. I actually played baseball all the way up until I switched to tennis. And then it was actually kind of a funny story. I was going to play baseball in high school, and all my friends played tennis, but none of my friends played baseball, and I actually didn't like any of the guys that were on the baseball team. So one of my friends was like, hey, come to the tennis meeting, just see if you like it. And then I went, played my freshman year, and then decided to just stop baseball and just keep doing tennis. But other than that, I played some rec basketball in the winter.
Okay.
But
So it wasn't a love of tennis that drew you to tennis?
Not necessarily. I mean, it was kind of the social aspect, having all my friends on the same team and getting to travel with them. But the actual tennis part came to me a lot later. Now I'm in love with tennis, but you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of different because so many of the athletes here at Whitworth were really good at their respective sport in high school, and this was an opportunity to get a great education, but also stay involved in the sport that they fell in love with at a really young age.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just didn't have that, which I think that helps me out a lot. I think if I started tennis at such a young age, I feel like I'd be burnt out by now. But I'm not. I mean, even though this is my senior year, I feel like I'm just getting started.
And that's pretty cool because tennis is a lifetime sport.
Oh, it's awesome.
Can be.
Yeah, can't wait.
So I would suggest you would fare pretty well academically in school, even if you didn't participate in tennis then.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, are you talking high school academics?
No. I mean, you're at Whitworth now, so
Right.
we got to talk about that. You're a senior, getting ready to graduate, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. As you might know, I played 2 years at community college in between Whitworth and Whitworth now. So it's still kind of up in the air, but my credits situation isn't fully not sure how that will all pan out, but
Okay.
hopefully by next year I'll be out of college. But
And if the academic thing doesn't come together for, say, this year, for you to walk this year, with COVID and everything else, could you play another year of tennis if you wanted to?
no, I don't think so. I've talked about it a little bit. I think this would be my last year. The rules, I'm not fully real well versed in the rules, but this is most likely my last year. This is my 5th year of college tennis, so it's like it almost feels fitting that I should just hang it up.
Say that's enough?
Yeah, just have a good season this year and call it a day.
Let's talk about this year's team.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
Got a big team this year. I mean, we have 12 guys, which is pretty above average, but our top 6 are the same as last year. So our starting 6 are all returners, which is good for this year. But we have a lot of talent that came in, but nothing to quite scrape the starting lineup. But yeah, I mean, with 3 seniors leaving this year, Daniel's been working real hard to try to fill those roles, but if not, those freshmen can step in next year.
So with that depth, will you be in a situation in matches where guys will play singles and somebody else will play doubles, or will guys still end up playing both, you think?
Probably everyone will play both. Yeah, our top 4 singles guys are most definite top 4 doubles guys. They're all so good in doubles. Our 3rd doubles team, which are currently me and our 6, that I could see that changing a little bit, but I think our doubles lineup and singles lineup is basically the same this year.
Is there anything different this year? Coach went from being your assistant coach to now the head coach. How'd that change things for you?
I mean, now it's great, but we're in kind of a limbo situation at the beginning of this year where we didn't have a coach or really any sort of structure or anything for 3, almost 4 months. And then Daniel got in there, and, it's his first time. I mean, he just moved back to Spokane and assistant coach for the first time last year. So, this is all new to him, too. But he's done such a good job. I mean, we've built such a good culture in just the short span that we've had him. He provides, as a really good former Whitworth player, I think he has some really good insight that we could all learn from. But he's a natural so far. It's been great. He can't wait to go on spring break. He's worked his butt off planning that. So
where are you
that'll
going?
be fun. We're going to Florida to play some schools down there at the USTA national campus. So that should be
fun.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. Not to mention we're also going to the Miami Open. So that'll be awesome.
That'll be good. So let's go back to a little bit where you said, you kind of were in limbo for a little while. Did you and some of the other older players on the team kind of take the mantle and try to keep everybody moving forward?
Yeah. Luckily, we with a lot of returners and 3 seniors, we just held captains practices, so optional practices. But everybody comes and we hit and work on some things. But yeah, definitely the older guys stepped up and kind of provided that structure that we were lacking in the beginning parts of this year. But I'm just glad that we have a fully functioning coach now. It's real nice.
Yeah, that adds some stability.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to the academic end of things. When you do reach your goals and get a chance to get that diploma, it'll be in
environmental science.
And what would you like to do with that?
I'd like to be an ecologist, ideally, but anything where I'm in the natural resources kind of field of work, I'd be fine with that. I'm not much of a numbers guy or a kind of like a...
You're not going to sit behind a desk for 8 hours a day?
Can't see myself doing much of that. I mean, ideally I'd be outside, but, I think I'll end up okay.
I would think there'd be some pretty cool opportunities, especially in this area, for an internship or a chance to learn about what you maybe want to do while you're still in school.
Yeah, no, the Spokane area and just the Pacific Northwest in general is huge for ecology jobs, environmental science jobs, and all that stuff. So I don't think I'll have a problem finding some place to work once I'm out. But ideally fisheries ecologist. That's the end goal, but might take some steps to get there. Some in-between jobs, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
But,
it's cool to have something to look at, though,
Yeah.
and try to attain.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, wish you the best of luck on the courts and in school, and when you get a chance to just be outdoors and enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Good to meet you.
Appreciate it. Good to meet you too.
All right. And up next, we're going to get a chance to talk swimming. It's been very successful for the Pirates of late. That's coming up on the Pirate Podcast.
I met Anitas 10 years ago when he first came to New America. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him and figure out what steps he needed to take in order for him to build that positive credit to the point where, fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with New America, he's got his personal accounts with New America, and he's looking to buy his second home also with New America. That was a sense of fulfillment for me in saying, hey, I helped him get through these steps.
Let's jump into the pool on the Pirate Podcast. And joining us now is Michaela Parrish, freshman from Moses Lake, just off the Northwest Conference Championships. That was a heck of a weekend for the Pirate men's and women's team.
Yeah, no, we did really well. It was a really fun weekend, and I really enjoyed it.
I would think you win a couple of events. You got to enjoy that, right?
Yeah, I was very surprised by winning those events. If you told me which event I would have won, I probably would have chose the 500, not the mile or the 200.
Yeah, it's a pretty good discrepancy on what you swam. Kind of explain to everybody what you did swim this weekend.
So I swam the 200 freestyle, 500 freestyle, and the mile for my individual events. And then for relays, I was doing sprints like the 50 free and the 100 free for 4 different relays.
And it was kind of a tough thing. It had to affect your mindset a little bit because right away, the opening competition, the Pirates were you part of the team that got disqualified?
I was not, but definitely that first day, I was like, after that disqualification, I was really in that kind of hard mindset where I was like, oh no, I don't want to like get my team disqualified. So I was definitely very anxious for that first swim.
What happened? Do you know? Did someone leave the blocks just too soon? Or?
Yeah, it was too early of a start. So it was like a negative 0.07 reaction time.
Wow. And how did that affect the team, do you think?
Really, I think after that first day, it put us into, like, it made us drive harder for wanting to climb up that ladder. Like, every day we were like, oh, we're going to climb higher. We're going to continue to climb higher up that leaderboard. And so I really think it, like, made us push harder in our events and really made us, like, come together as a team to cheer each other on because we knew we could do it.
Was it kind of tough afterwards thinking that what could have been had things gone the way they probably should have on that opening night?
Yeah, definitely afterwards, but I think the common thought between all of us was we got him next year.
There you
we
go.
always have next
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Well, until you're a senior, then you don't, right? Then it changes a little bit. When
Yeah.
you're a freshman, you got all kinds of
Oh, yeah.
time in front of you. And that had to be pretty exciting. You said you were surprised that you came back and won these races, but 2 great come from behind wins.
Yeah, normally for like my distance events, I kind of fall off towards the end. So I was, especially in like the 200, I was very surprised by my comeback. But it was kind of like a thing, like I looked over and I saw my team cheering for me, and it really pushed me to go faster and like want that win.
And you had a foe from Whitman who ended up being the co-swimmer of the meet who was out in front of you. And I think she knocked you off in an earlier race, but you reeled her in. How'd you do that?
I kind of felt her like slowing down, and felt that I could pick it up. And so kind of at that point, I saw my team cheering on. I was like, oh, I can probably do this. So I started really pushing for it. And then finally, like that last 100, I was like, oh, I could really do this. And I just went for it.
So you made your way from Moses Lake to Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
What drew you to Whitworth?
I kind of already knew that Whitworth existed because Zach was swimming here and his older sister swam here for the team, but I was not considering swimming in college. I was like, I was gonna go WSU, just do my degree there because my entire family's went there, and then it was a swim meet before my senior year, and Zach introduced me to Steve, and that's when I kind of was like, oh, maybe swimming would be something I'd pursue. And it was like a lot of months of thinking about it and visiting, and it was like, do I really want to go here? And then finally in January I pulled the trigger and I was like, yeah, I want to swim.
And it's worked out pretty well for you?
Yeah. I'm very surprised about how well I've been doing this season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Has that done things for your confidence?
Definitely. After the 200 free, I think that's really what pushed me to do so well in the mile, because I had that confidence. I was just kind of behind the blocks going, well, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And it really helped me kind of in that mindset.
How much did the dual meet season help you just to jump in and compete? And then when did you get that realization that, hey, I belong here. I can compete here?
I feel like because like the team culture, it's very like encouraging with each other. And so going into those first couple of meets, I was very unsure about myself. And then I kind of saw how I did against the competition. I was like, oh, okay, like I'm doing pretty good. Like maybe I have this season. And then kind of around Lager, like I swam really well. And I was like, okay, like I'm like enjoying this. Like I think I really have like a place on the team and we're really helping the team go along. So I think it was about then.
Are there any more young ladies you swam with growing up in Moses Lake that maybe could come join this team? Because that was kind of the one thing that held you guys back a little bit in the championships, not so much in duels, but just not having a lot of depth. You only really had 12 swimmers on the team, is that right?
Yeah, definitely. We did really well for how small our team
Yeah.
is. But for my team, there could be a couple that's considering. We have 5 swimmers in our conference from my hometown team, from my club team. And my sister is going Division I, so she's out of the running. But there's definitely a couple other girls that would very much thrive.
What's that like competing against your former teammates when you compete against them in college?
It was definitely very fun. We swim, my one teammate Laurel from my home team, we swim the exact same events. So we swam next to each other in prelims for both the 200 and 500, and then we swam next to each other in the mile too. So definitely like kind of already know how she swims her races. So I definitely had to like take myself out of that mindset and like swim my own race and kind of like ignore everybody else.
Okay. So outside of swimming, when you're not in the pool and you're in class, how's that transition gone for you?
I enjoy it. I like going to class. I enjoy staying busy and just learning and stuff. So it's been pretty easy transition. I also did running start in high school.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was kind of already a college student with swimming. And so it was very definitely like it wasn't too hard of a jump or like.
So do you envision swimming for 4 years at Whitworth, or are you going to end up graduating early?
I'm probably going to end up graduating early, probably around my junior year.
Okay. With what kind of degree, ideally?
Accounting and finance.
Okay. What would you want to do with that?
I'm probably gonna get my CPA license
Okay.
out of college, and then haven't really decided, but probably tax.
Well, that's good. Maybe you can help me, because I've got an Intuit app on my phone right now, and my CPA asked me to start putting all these, everything in here digitally, and it won't let me on. So maybe after we get done here, you can help me out with that.
Yeah.
Actually, I called the CPA office. They can't help me out either. So, oh well,
all right.
we're slowly progressing towards that.
Yeah.
So the other thing I have to ask you, did your mom and dad spell your name Michaela when you were born, or did you change it that way? Because my daughter's middle name is Michaela. It's spelled drastically different than yours. I've seen Michaela spelled a lot of different ways. I've never seen it spelled the way you spell it.
I have never seen it the way have it spelled either. My mom swears that she found it in a baby book. I don't know what baby book she found it in.
That would be fun to find out.
Yes, but I've asked her before, and she swears she found it in a baby book.
The baby book was maybe written in German, or
I don't know. I've asked her. That's what she says.
Have you ever had one of those where you have to spell your name and people are like, no, that's not right?
Yeah. A lot of people also just shorten my name or save my name so they don't have to spell it.
That's fun. So what happens now? Northwest Conference Championship is in the rearview mirror. What happens for you going forward right now, swimming-wise?
Swimming-wise, take probably about a week off, then kind of like jump back in the pool, do some like nice easy swimming, get me back in the shape. But definitely this summer, hit the pool hard, do definitely a lot of dry land stuff, and then hopefully next year some national cuts.
That'd be fun.
It would be.
And get a few more gals on the squad, right?
Yes, that'll be
Get a little
very
more
good.
depth.
Yes, that'll be
All
very
right.
fun.
Well, wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Good meeting you, Michaela.
Nice meeting you too.
And we will continue on the Pirate Podcast. We're going to talk basketball and maybe something up in the sky as well as we continue on the Pirate Podcast.
I met Chris, it was actually through a phone call, and he was talking to me about his landscaping company, and he was looking to get some financing to buy a truck, a trailer, and some heavy equipment. What I like about New America is When it comes to decision making, it's right down the hall from my office. And we're able to meet his needs within a month. Feels great to see a business expand.
Continue on the Pirate Podcast. We're going to talk Pirate men's basketball. Sullivan Menard, senior guard for the Pirates, joins us. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How about yourself, bud?
I am doing well. Not as well as you, though. Congratulations, Northwest Conference Player of the Week.
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, it was been a fun weekend.
Saturday night, 39 points. You scored that much in a high school game ever?
I had 38 in high school.
38
so
in high school, so you one-upped it.
Yeah.
That's the most points anybody scored in the Northwest Conference game this season so far.
No, it was pretty fun. It was a great night. So, pretty blessed. It was fun.
Would have been pretty cool to get to 40 though too.
Yeah. I mean, I had the opportunities. I missed some free throws, so that's what everyone's telling me.
I've never seen anybody get fouled 3 times on made 3-pointers.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think really with like the new rule change and trying to make the emphasis on letting players land, I already have a pretty big like jump to my jump shot. I elevate pretty well, so I kind of honestly need that space to land, and I'm not always like trying to embellish it or flop or whatnot, but. The refs are calling it. They're trying to look for it and make sure.
Well, one of the points of emphasis is if
Yeah.
you kick your legs out, they'll call the foul on you.
Correct. Yeah. So it's not like you can do crazy things on the offensive end. You need to like play it as you would, but they are saying you need that space to land. So when I can, like out of the corner of my eye when I'm shooting, I can kind of see if a player is really coming towards me, and I know okay, I can probably get a foul call on this one. So,
So tell us what that feeling's like for you. How big does that rim look when you go up for a shot? When it starts rolling, when you hit your first couple and thinking, "Ooh, this could be kind of fun."
Yeah. I don't know if the rim gets any bigger. I just think that your confidence is through the roof. It's kind of. I mean, I think we all at this level, and any guy at Whitworth has had crazy good games in high school and whatnot. And I think just reaching that confidence when you see a couple go through, it kind of just. You get flashbacks to, a random day at the gym for open gym or a high school game or whatever it may be where you kind of have seen the ball go through the hoop. And so it kind of just feels like every time you're shooting that ball, it's going to go in. So I felt confident every time I was really releasing it.
So your former teammate Rowan Anderson was with me on the radio broadcast, and it seemed like just about every time when JoJo or somebody else would bring the ball across midcourt, he'd go, "Oh, Sully's open, get it to Sully." And did you find as things were rolling the way they were that your teammates were looking for you more, or did it all come just within the flow of the offense?
Yeah, definitely in the first, I'd say 5-10 minutes, it was mostly like flow of the offense, and then I think everyone started realizing, okay, like Sully's playing pretty well, let's start feeding the ball. And so kind of in the next few timeouts, we started talking, all right, Sully, where do you want the ball? Like, what do you think we can get to you right now? So it's really nice, too. We have so many great players on our team. It takes a lot of attention. They can't just play on me. They're doubling on Jake. They have to respect JoJo's driving abilities. So it's really nice to be able to just play freely and kind of, get shots off whenever.
In your journey from Alaska to DePaul, to Wyoming, and then to Whitworth. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But you injured your knee, an ACL, and that's a tough, almost basically a full year rehab.
Yeah.
Is this the first year you felt really healthy?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's such an odd injury because you're rebuilding like your groundwork in some sense. Your legs are super important for a shot and for basketball in general. So if you don't really have confidence in your legs and where that's kind of coming from, then you're kind of screwed. So it takes a lot of confidence and relearning and re-strengthening. So last year it was kind of just almost a feel-out year, trying to see what I have left and what I can do. And
you got to regain confidence
correct,
too.
Correct.
When you plant to go, you got to make sure that
Yep.
You're not having that in the back of your head.
Yep, exactly. So I think that was a big thing last year, and kind of just getting back into it. And so this year has been really awesome, just kind of see myself getting back to how I know I can play.
Did you grow up in Alaska?
Yep. So born and raised in
Born and
Alaska.
raised.
Was still Alaska. they call it the Valley is where I'm from, so kind of have a few towns that are in this mountain range and valley, and
So-
windy and cold.
After Saturday night, are you more famous than Sarah Palin in Wasilla now?
No, I don't think so. It is pretty cool getting some texts from back home and
I'll bet, yeah.
people noticing, and take a lot of pride in that. It's really cool to say I come from Alaska, and we're all proud of each other whenever we see each other do well. So
Well, there haven't been a ton of guys coming from Alaska that
Yeah.
end up being college basketball players. Who's the best, you think? Carlos Boozer? Was he?
Carlos Boozer, in my time, I really looked up to Mario Chalmers. So
Trajan Langan
Yep.
was before your time, but
Yep.
he never really kind of got to where everybody thought he would get, I guess.
correct, yeah. So he was there. Boozer was definitely big time. So it's kind of cool just to be able to see those guys and where they're at now.
And then you're a golfer too. You got a short golf season in Alaska.
Yeah. Yep. No, I was blessed. One of my best friends from back home, his dad kind of was in the midst of an ownership group in a golf course, so kind of was able to hug on to that side of the relationship. So I was able to, play golf till super late at night because we had the
Yeah. daylight.
daylight. So we packed in a lot of golf in those 2 months, and I really enjoyed it.
What's the most number of holes you've played in one day?
It's over 2 rounds. It's definitely pushing probably 3 rounds. We used to play golf till 1, 2 a.m. and then go get Taco Bell, get like the Taco 12 pack, and that was kind of our deal. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, they have a tournament that tees it at midnight, I think, right?
Yeah.
You go play that,
oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
it's a lot of fun.
All right. So just back to Saturday night, just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
With 39 points and it's senior night and your mom was there. How cool was that?
Yeah, no, it was a blessing. It was also my brother and sister were able to make the game. They told me they didn't need to walk with me, so I was fine with that. So they're in the stands, but my mom walked out with me, and it's really cool. It was always kind of disappointing. Early in my career when I had a great high school career and wasn't able to really show forth. So it's really cool now that my siblings can come and watch me, and I'm able to perform to the ability that we all know I can.
So coming out of high school, you decided to go to DePaul as a
Yeah.
walk-on. What other options did you have?
Yeah, I had quite a few different Division II and AI opportunities, and was starting to get in contact with some Big Sky schools. But right around that time, kind of the DePaul opportunity came out. Went and took a visit in Chicago. They ended up beating Georgetown, and sitting courtside is like, okay, this is pretty cool. So as I was leaving, told Coach Slato that I'd be coming there next year. So it was pretty hard to turn down. But that was my decision.
Yeah. Things work out for a reason, though.
Yep.
So when you get done with
Yeah.
school and basketball and golf, what kind of degree are you going to have?
Yeah, I'll be graduating with an accounting degree. I've kind of been all over the board, but with academics wise, but I'll be finishing with
Okay.
accounting.
So maybe you can help me with the app here too.
Yeah,
Get that taken
yeah.
care of.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do.
All right, and you're doing something else in addition to taking classes.
Yep.
At Whitworth. You're taking some classes, flying around.
That's right. Yeah. So it was, growing up in Alaska, there's always bush planes flying all the way around. My dad was huge flying, and so as well as my grandpa. So that was kind of something that we that I knew of and saw all around. It's not too common, or it's not uncommon for like some of my high school friends to get their private pilot's license growing up. So something I always wanted to do, and kind of in memory of my dad, I kind of wanted to do it as well. So that's kind of my goal to finish that up, heading into graduation. So I've already soloed, already been in the sky by myself. That was really surreal. But
What was scarier, doing that or facing a free throw with the game on the line, or a 10-foot downhill putt for a birdie?
Yeah. Well, I don't think when you're putting, you're thinking about, is this plane going to fall in the sky? So
I hope
a
not.
little different.
Yeah.
But no, it was really cool, and something that I'll remember for a long time. So
What memories that you have near and dear that you'll take away with you?
sports wise,
Yeah.
Man, it'd probably start my freshman year, just kind of being in that role where, I'm doing all the grunt work and doing everything I can, but also with some amazing experiences of, going and, playing, but also as a redshirt year, so just sitting there on the bench and watching our guys play at Madison Square Garden twice, playing at Villanova, Hinkle Fieldhouse, just some really cool places in my career that I'll forever hold on to. And then moving into junior college when we're, taking a van for 10 hours and, driving to the middle of nowhere, Colorado or Wyoming to play some really great talent. And now at Whitworth, just with some amazing guys here, with some amazing people. It's been a lot of fun, and also now being able to just play well is kind of really great way to end.
Got to lead to some off-the-court memories, too, for you.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, just all those times you have with those guys, whether it's eating or, just all the group of sophomores just being funny on the plane rides or whatever, you never know what you're going to get from those guys. So that's a lot of fun. But, Hawaii was really cool this year. That was an amazing experience. Just being able to go around with the guys, walk around. There's a lot of experiences that I'll take and that will propel me forward into life.
Did you guys give Jerry Twenge a little grief on senior night? Brought half of North Spokane with him out on the court.
Yeah, and his grandma was wearing a headband.
I laughed when I saw that. It shouldn't have surprised us.
Yeah. No, and I was his dad gave me his shirt, so I'm able to have one of the Jerry Twenge classics.
Nice.
So I'll be able to hold on to that forever. So that'll be pretty sweet.
All right, some interesting things ahead for this team. What are you thinking?
Yeah, our goal is obviously to. My main focus is just to get us back here and play again. That was kind of
to win the league, to host the tournament.
Yeah, win the league, host the tournament. I think now win one of two, we for sure host, win two outright. So it's never easy going to Tacoma, and I don't think we've won twice in Tacoma in a while. Won both of them. Didn't do it last year, didn't do it the year before.
Yeah, we'll have to look.
So sweeping in Tacoma would be pretty sweet. That would be our first big step. And then coming here and hosting, it was really a fun environment on Saturday. So hoping that we can get two more great environments if we're able to host here. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And then ultimately our biggest goal, of course, is winning conference and whatnot. But we really want to make it past the first weekend if we're able to get into the tournament. Most of the guys in the team haven't done that in a while, and we feel like we aren't really reaching our potential if we just go and play and drop an egg. So we're looking to move on this year and really make an impact.
Tradition never graduates is what this program talks about and is built on, and has had great success over the years of getting to the NCAA tournament and a stretch of 16 straight years, winning 20 games, which is attainable this year now. Do you guys know of all that as a team and try to live up to that, or is it we're just going to be ourselves?
I think you really can't escape it in the sense of a lot of these teams in our conference haven't really beat us in a long time, and so even if we want to act like it's not there, it's there for a lot of those coaches, and those coaches that have been maybe coaching against Whitworth for a long time and never been able to beat us, or whatever it may be. So I think we can talk about it, but it is really there when we go play another team that really wants to beat us. So I think it's definitely there, and it's kind of the product of what's been built before. So we're trying to do our best to uphold that. It's it's amazing what those guys did before us, and it's really impressive. The great runs and the 20+ win seasons that they had. It's not easy, so it's really impressive what they're able to do.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
I hope we got a bunch of games left.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And remember, every night is senior night now.
That's right. Let's do it.
That'll do it for our Pirate Podcast. We'll get a chance to talk much more about spring sports coming up next month.